Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Highly Motivated. Another incredible, gorgeous, birds singing, butterflies dancing kind of day today. Welcome to the virtual smoke session on a Wednesday. So it's our Wednesday morning virtual smoke sesh, a great time for us all to get together and smoke one. And even if you don't smoke or eat cannabis or use topicals or tinctures or capsules or anything like that, even if you don't, this is a great digital meetup. This is a great time for everybody to get together and get started for the day, get motivated. This, this is our midweek motivational session, our midweek morning smoke sesh. This is our time. This is our time to get together. So let's take advantage of it. If you got them, smoke them. If you don't, just hang out, chit chat, talk with us, ask questions, whatever. That's what this is. This is Wednesday morning. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I'm highly motivated. And today, this morning, now, normally during the smoke sesh, there is no topic. There's nothing specifically that I'm talking about. But today, I did want to talk about leaving the world better. Leaving the world better than how we found it. Leaving a room better than how we found it. Leaving an emotion better than how we found it. I think we need to be more mindful of our actions throughout the day. We need to be more mindful of other people's feelings. We need to put ourselves in other people's shoes. It's easier said than done. I know. This is a big hooter of a hog leg this morning. I smoked one the other day. I loved it so much that I had to roll another one. This one's not as big as the one I rolled the other day. The one the other day was like a doink a doink hooter of hooters. It's early morning, it's a lot of smoke, but hey, we're starting the day with positivity. We're starting the day with enthusiasm. When I talk about leaving the world better, plant gardens, plant vegetable gardens, bring food to food deserts, bring kindness where there is none. It's not about spending money. It's not about fixing broken things necessarily. It's about bringing kindness. It's about bringing love and appreciation and understanding. When I say leave the world better, leave emotions better, leave people better, cannabis does help. Yes, absolutely. But leave things better. Bring a little better emotion into the day. And I say that because I don't think we're considerate enough of others. I mean, yes, we're important and the people in our lives are important. But if we don't change the flow of others, then it doesn't come back to us. If we don't push out goodness, if we don't push out understanding and kindness, it doesn't really come back. Everything we push out comes back to us. So today, we're just chit-chatting about that. We're chit-chatting about changing our emotion, changing our mood, changing the level of kindness that we bring to the world, because that's something we're missing. That's something that we need more of. And here I go. Look at that. I let this go out. I should be ashamed of myself. And again, thank you for everybody joining us today. I'm highly motivated because what we're about you. This is a show for you. This is not necessarily for me. I mean, it's for me and it's for you. Wow. Well, that was fun. By the way, this is a vegetable paper, so you can see through entirely. Really delicious. You don't taste the paper, you taste the cannabis. And that's a big deal. When it comes to smoking, and we'll talk about kindness, we'll talk about giving, this should be something you do regardless. Approaching the world with 10% more kindness every day. If you see trash on the ground, pick it up, throw it away. If you see somebody who needs help, lend a helping hand. This is what I'm talking about by leaving the world a little better than what we found it, leaving an area better than what we found it. I leave hotel rooms, I don't leave them dirty. I clean up after myself. I pick up all my dirty towels, I put them in one corner. I pick up all my trash, I throw it away, I wipe down counters. Just leave things better. Always. Always leave things better than what you found them. Okay. Now that I've started off with a little morning positivity, remember, you create your day. You manifest your day. I woke up not in a great mood. I rolled out of bed a little while ago. I was a little angry. I was a little frustrated. I'm a little stressed out. And why? Because I've got multiple videos I got to complete, multiple doctors I've got to go see. I've got to go drive pretty far out today. And all that combined is adding. Plus, I need to get the dental insurance going. I need to get this going and that going and blah, 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 blah. With all of that on my head, that's a lot of weight first thing in the morning. That's a lot of weight on one person. And I'm not even listing out the 1,000 other things that are weighing me down today. But nothing is weighing me down. And I'll tell you why. It's the mentality that you bring to the table. Everything is responsibility. Everything needs to be done regardless. It can't be done immediately, but it will get done. And that's what sometimes you have to tell yourself. Don't stress yourself out immediately and say, I have to get this done now, 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 now. Life is long. Life takes time. And everything you do takes time. So take a deep breath, relax. And that's what I had to remind myself this morning. Got out of bed, a little stressed out, already racing around the house, looking for this, looking for that, thinking about my day, planning things out. And with all of that I was doing, all the planning, all the putting together, all the stressing, it did nothing but start to shape my mood into something negative. It started to shape my mood into, what am I doing this morning? That is twice I have let this go out. That's terrible of me. Anyways, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Highly Motivated. Today we are restreaming a multitude of different platforms. You can always catch us on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. So our regular time is Friday, 8 o'clock. This is Wednesday morning smoke sesh. Really, we're not talking about anything but smokily Oakland, tokely Oakling a little bit. My handy dandy carrying base. So put that right there. Ooh, that was delicious. So just bring 10% more kindness to your day. That's all I'm asking. So let's talk about other things. How did I change my mood? So I'm sitting there, I'm stressing out, I'm worrying about things. And kind of hard to keep this one lit today. So I was stressing out, and I had to take a moment to reevaluate my day. I had to take a moment to reevaluate my scenario, my circumstances, everything. And I had to think about why I was stressed out and what I was doing. So stress only brings more stress. Problems only bring more problems. That's delicious. That's some like high octane coffee. I started on that a little while ago today. It's pretty powerful stuff. So good morning once again. Welcome to the Motivational Wednesday Smoke Session. Remember, you're amazing. Remember, you are incredible. And you are capable of absolutely anything. You manifest and create that day. Okay, getting back to it. So this morning, I wasn't necessarily in the best of moods. So I took a moment. I took a deep breath. I looked around me. I said, stop, Warren. Just stop. Stop. There's no reason to rush. There's no reason to stress. There's no reason to think about all these things and to create a stressful day and to manifest stress and anxiety throughout the day, because that's what I was doing. By stressing it, I was creating it. I was manifesting it, and I was going to push it into the rest of my day. That's not what you want. You want to stop it right there. So I took that deep breath. I thought about things. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my form of meditation this morning. I'm going to break up enough weed to roll a big hog leg. So while I'm breaking up the weed, and it's not necessarily about weed, but I was taking a moment out of my day and I was distracting myself with the weed. And I'm breaking it up. And as I'm breaking it up, the aroma, oh, that smells good. Oh, that's fantastic. So as I'm breaking it up and I'm smelling it, my brain and my body are already changing. My mood is already changing. Because not necessarily just the aroma, not just the terpene profile from the cannabis, which I have to tell you was smelled delicious, and immediately started putting my whole sense of being somewhere else. Now, could I do it without drugs or cannabis? Of course I can. Hmm. Do I want to? Absolutely not. I can reach enlightenment and happiness without this, without it. It takes a little bit longer. It takes a little bit more manifestation. It takes a little bit more creation. It takes a little bit more daily motivation. I have to do the Stuart Little and stand in the middle for a little while and just, you're amazing. You're fantastic. You're gonna have a killer day and you're gonna create that. But this, I don't need to sit there and give myself any motivation. I just smoke yoki a little bit, feel a little better, and the day changes. But keep in mind, by me doing this, I'm taking a moment out of my day. I'm distracting my mind and my energy and vibe. I'm distracting the whole thing and saying, hey, let's take a moment and meditate. Let's take a moment and look at our day without the stress, without the worry. Because the second you start to worry and the second you start to stress, that's what you're creating. That's what you're manifesting. That is what you're bringing into the rest of the day. So the best thing is stop creating the negativity and start creating the positivity, the enthusiasm for life. Josh, let me see, it's Joshua. Good morning, Joshua. How are you today? I I am feeling very motivated. I am feeling very enthusiastic about the gorgeous day ahead of us. And because look, the sun is rising up beautifully, birds are already singing. I don't see rain in the horizon, not until later on. Mm. All right, Phil, keep letting this thing go out. I don't know why I keep putting my hand in front of it. There's no wind in here. Wow, that is delicious. So this morning, while breaking up the weed, I was going through my own form of meditation. Before smoking, this is my first smoke today. So before smoking, I was breaking up my cannabis, and in that, I could smell that aroma already hitting me. I could already feel my brain kind of just changing a little bit from angry and frustrated and stressful over to, huh, there was already a mellowness. There was already a better understanding about my environment right there while just breaking up cannabis. So I broke it up and I'm rolling this joint. And these papers are actually quite easy to roll with. They almost roll themselves. It's beautiful. So I rolled this and I put it to the side. It was a big fatty. We've been smoking it for a little while this morning. Put it to the side and went and got my coffee. And then I picked up my beautiful donut shaped coffee cup and I laughed to myself and I smiled. And right there, I knew my mood was different because I wasn't thinking of the stress. I wasn't thinking of the projects that needed to be completed. I wasn't thinking about all the places I need to visit or the people I need to call today or the things that I need to get set up. No, let it go. Let it go. It's going to get done. You're going to write it down so you don't think about it. Let it go. Right there, when I was getting the coffee cup and I was giggling to myself, I was like, okay, I feel better. Okay, I think I'm a little more ready to approach the day. Okay, awesome sauce. Let's kick some ass today. And I wasn't thinking the stress. I wasn't thinking the pressure. And my whole sense of being within 10 minutes changed. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to reevaluate your day. 10 minutes to change your mood. because you can't motivate other people. You can't hold other people on high. You cannot help anybody until you change your mood, until you help yourself, until you reestablish, reinvent, recreate, remanifest. Oh, I'm excited now. I'm drooling a little bit of drool. And of course, I think I let this go out again. Mm. Mm. We saved it. I'm so proud of myself. See the accomplishments that I'm making this morning. And thank you, everybody, for joining me from wherever you are joining me, whether it be Twitch. Almost knocked that down. And that's Joshua. We got Joshua right now. I can see how you're doing today. How are you doing today? Coming from the Twitcher. And then we're on the YouTuber, the Facebooker, and the LinkedIn, or the Linky Winkies. So thank you for joining me anywhere that you're joining me from. I appreciate it. And that's what this is. It's highly motivated. We're just getting together to smoke and toke. Ooh, but I do want to tell you about some of the fantastic things happening this week. So as long as everything works out properly, I will be releasing the pre-roll video this morning, like at 9 o'clock in an hour. That is if it downloads to a smaller size. So for those of you that don't know or haven't heard yet, I was doing a pre-roll video, 1 gram pre-rolls here in the Florida medical market. So force of habit, I'm always put my hand up in guard against the wind. Wow. That's a serious hog leg. So as we continue, I released the results of the pre-roll competition in the last podcast on Monday. So Monday was a motivational Monday, end of the day Monday. Hey, how you doing type of thing. I wasn't going to do a podcast that day, but I missed the entire weekend because of the boy's birthday. So I felt bad, and I wanted to get on and talk to everybody. I wanted to get on and smoke that giant joint that I rolled, that super duper hog leg, the doink-a-doink. It was beautiful, though. I mean, same with this one. They're both really gorgeous smokes. This is Red Bulls from Goldflower. Red Bulls, I want to say, was at 24, 25%. Lovely. Terpene profile over 2. It was like 2.3, 2.4. But delicious. I think maybe it's even higher than that. It might be like a 3. But anyways. So hopefully later today, I'm releasing the results of the pre-roll competition. And for those of you that did not know who won, well, just so you know, Goldflower won. But second place was Jungle Boys. And third place was the Flowery. Fourth place was Cookies. So that's your 1, 2, 3, 4. Just letting you know, right like that. Goldflower, Jungle Boys, Flowery, Cookies. Those were the top 4. Well, top 5, I guess. So top 5, so Sanctuary. I believe it went, and really some of these are so interchangeable, but Goldflower was number 1. Jungle Boys was number 2. Flowery was number 3. Cookies was number 4, and Sanctuary was number 5. And that's a pretty exciting competition. So when you watch the video, you're going to see that we tested the quality of the flower going in, not the strain, but the quality. We tested the papers and the burn. We tested the length of burn, the time of burn, the aromas, the terpenes, the flavonoids, the smell, the initial smell, and then the smell during smoking. Like some of the strains smelled like only one. There's only 1 or 2. There's 2 that had like a cherry wood smoke to it. And it was delicious in every possible way. So hopefully later today, I don't know about 9 o'clock. I was sitting there thinking about it, going, am I ready to release the pre-roll competition at 9 o'clock? I need to, though. The world needs to see. The medical market in Florida needs to see what people have been smoking. And I was shocked at the results. I was shocked that some of the companies put such shit inside of their pre-rolls. I mean, I guess they figure since It's rolled up. You can't see what's inside of it. Since it's rolled up, you're not going to complain about the shit that you're smoking because the companies that were in last place, they deserve to be there. The companies that were in last place wholeheartedly deserve to be there because their product was sand and dirt and dust. I've heard stories. Now, I've worked for some of these companies, but I've also heard stories that the pre-rolls are made with the shake and whatever's left at the bottom of the bag. And the pre-rolls are made with the stuff that falls on the floor, and they pick it all up and they throw everything into an insane grinder. And they grind the cannabis down into a sand type product. And once it's in this sand form, sand and dust, you can't tell where it came from. Mm. So for me, and I talk about it quite often, pre-rolls are your number one. Your pre-roll should be gorgeous. It should be beautiful. It's the simplest thing a cannabis company can offer. The simplest product that is the most beneficial. Because look, it took me 10 minutes to roll this. And if I had come home and I'm stressed out and I just want to smoke a joint, I just want to grab a joint, light it, and go. That's it. Simplicity. I try to keep things simple, and that's what I want. I love simplicity. So a pre-roll is simplicity. So the companies that were in last place, dusty, dirty, disgusting, a new rule that I have that I should have really implemented years ago. And I don't know why I didn't put one and one together. But if you can't eat your weed, you shouldn't smoke it. If you can't eat your cannabis, don't smoke it. If you eat it and it's disgusting, if you eat it and it makes your tongue numb, if you eat it and you taste perfume and rose, but really, really overpowering and like a chemical floral, something's being covered up in your cannabis, or something was not washed or cleansed out of the plant before it was cultivated. No surprise. The ooh, that was a hit. No surprise, the winner of the pre-roll competition is 100% organic. That's a big deal. When you're 100% organic, there's nothing you have to cleanse out of the plant before processing it. There's nothing that you have to do to the plant other than continue to grow it with beautiful water and beautiful nutrients. 100% organic changes the game. So eating the cannabis, I tried all 10 companies. All 10 companies. I put it in my mouth, I chewed it, I ate it. Only 2 of them could I swallow. Only 2 of the companies could I swallow the cannabis. So, of course, the winner, Gold Flower, delicious. It was minty, it was earthy, it was tea-like. There were so many multifaceted flavors in that one. And even now, I would eat it again. And then number 2, Jungle Boys. It was minty and earthy. It wasn't as multifaceted as Gold Flowers, but still delicious. So these are the top 2, and I believe they're both hand trimmed and they're both organic offerings in the cannabis marketplace. And you can taste that. You can taste the organics versus the non-organics cannabis. Wow, what a difference. Some of the strains, it was so disgusting, I had to spit it out immediately. And when going back and smoking that strain, when smoking that 1 gram pre-roll, you can taste it. You can taste it. And I'm going to say more than half of the pre-rolls did not get me high. I would say only the top 3 actually gave me an entourage effect. And that's a huge thing. I mean, just trying to keep this thing lit seems to be a chore today. So that being said, today I'm probably going to be releasing those results. But we're talking about eating the cannabis, and So the bottom four, the bottom five really. So your bottom five are interchangeable. They are all last place. Fluent was last place. The absolute last place out of everybody was Fluent Cannabis. I Again, I'm not here trying to call anybody out, but maybe this is what you need to hear in order to improve your cannabis. Maybe this is what you need to hear in order to improve your pre-roll. Your pre-roll is your number one product. Because if you screw up a pre-roll, then what else are you screwing up? What else are you not putting the love and attention into that you're selling? So if your pre-roll is shit, your eighth is shit, your rosin is shit, your resin is shit, your edibles are shit. Yes, I'm saying it right now. So maybe this is your wake-up call. Maybe this is your opportunity to say, I need to make a better product for the patients of Florida. I need to take my product seriously for the patients of Florida. We are not recreational yet. We are a medical cannabis program. And as a medical cannabis program, we should treat it as such. 120%. So thank God there's cannabis companies like Goldflower and Jungle Boys. Goldflower cares about its customers. Organic cannabis, beautiful, delicious. Cannabis you can taste. Cannabis you don't have to hide behind. So with these other providers, I tasted everybody's cannabis, and I'll tell you, you can taste. There are things in that cannabis you should not be smoking. And that's the bottom line. So this should be a wake-up call right here. I did it again. But look at it this way. It definitely preserves the weed. Like, it saves the rest of the weed from burning and just burning and burning. It puts itself out nicely. I don't mind having to relight necessarily. Mm. There's something this tasty because I don't taste the paper. I only taste the cannabis. And that's making a huge deal. So if something in that cannabis is making your tongue go numb, there's something wrong in that cannabis. And that's when you smoke it or eat it. If you're not feeling an entourage halfway through your joint, there's something not quite right about the weed you're smoking. So if it doesn't taste good, if you don't get an entourage first way through, if you light it and it's harsh, look, you see the hog leg I've been smoking this morning? Not harsh. It's not bothering my throat in any way. And I've only had very few sips out of my coffee today. Mm. Mm. It's delicious coffee. Delicious. So I feel like Spiegel or Schmiegel. Schmiegel talking about my coffee. But in that, I'm smoking this super fatty hog leg right here. And it's fine. It's smooth. It's gorgeous. That's what it's supposed to be. You should be able to smoke an entire gram and feel really high. But it shouldn't be bothering your throat. It shouldn't be bothering your esophageal or your trachea or whatever they're calling all those other good things these days. I start forgetting medical terminology about things. I know I'm high. Um, I did have a doctor that I occasionally smoke with. Great guy. I'm not going to call him out like that right now, but I'll get him on the podcast. He's a lot of fun when he's been smoking, but very intellectual, very smart. And we talk about how cannabis actually has a combination in the body, like what it's actually doing. Not, oh, it's said to do this or it's said to do that, but on a medical standpoint, how the endocannabinoid system reacts with the cannabinoids that you're introducing via cannabis. The most beneficial ways are to eat cannabis or to drink tea. Make a tea, eat cannabis, do edibles, create a butter, anything you do at low heat so you don't completely decarboxylate your cannabinoids from your cannabis. And that's really the number one thing. So smoking a joint at low heat is okay. But me, puffy. This right there gets the cherry pretty hot, and you're burning off your cannabinoids. So as long as you can do things at a lower heat. So, anyways, me and the doc will chit chat. When we've had podcasts before, when I used to do them for what was the other channel? And now I can't remember. Oh my god, my brain is like shutting down on me right now. So I had a podcast ages ago on a regular network, and that's when I had the doc on with me. So once we got a little Oakley Tokley, we both started forgetting all medical terminology, and we would just refer to things as the thingamabobby jig or this and that, and it was just, but we understood exactly what we were talking about. Okay, and in that, by the way, good morning again, everybody. Welcome to Highly Motivated, where I've spent the last 31 minutes rambling about cannabis information and rambling on about the about the top 10 1 gram pre-rolls here in the state of Florida on the medical program. So the Florida medical program, top 10 pre-rolls, 1 gram, house brands. See, there's a lot of stipulations to it. And I'll tell you another thing, as I open them up out of the package. So you get a package like this, and you open the container and you pour out the pre-roll onto the table. That's how I smoked it. I didn't play with it necessarily. I mean, I checked for firmness. I showed it on the camera, and I let people know this is how I received it. So if this is how I'm receiving the pre-roll, this is how I'm going to smoke it. And a few of the pre-rolls ran, a few of them got runners, but everybody kind of fixed themselves as far as the runners. The best way to show if a company's going to have runners, that's going to get a 0.5 gram. But then 0.5 grams, by the time you get a good smoke going on it, it's about done. So that's why I like a full gram. A full gram, you can light it. You can start to get a really good pull off of it after a couple of hits. Mm. Increasingly, I'm finding this thing harder to stay lit. But because of how strong it is at this point, I'll tell you, wow. So pre-roll competition, eating the weed, if you can't eat it, don't smoke it. And that's really what it just comes down to. And there was a lot like that. So the ones in the bottom belong to be in the bottom. The ones in the top belong to be in the top. Wow, it was incredible. It was absolutely an incredible competition. And I do hope to have that video out later today. And I'm so excited. Look, Goldflower got #1. Jungle Boys got #2. Flowery got #3. And it was close as far as entourage between Jungle Boys and Flowery. Goldflower, I was super Oakley Dokley. I was so googly ooglied. I mean, I was whatever you want to call it. It was insane. It really was. It was just a beautiful offering all the way around. It was neck and neck when it comes to color and texture between Jungle Boys. I would say it was very, very close for a while. Smell, aroma, again, very, very close. But in taste, Goldflower was a clear winner. And in overall smoke, Goldflower was a clear winner. Goldflower lasted 22 minutes. It was a 22-minute 1 gram joint. Wow. That's fantastic. That's a great meditation session. Jungle Boys lasted 18 minutes. So the two of them were very close on so many different categories. But, Goldflower just took the win. Jungle Boys took #2, Flowery #3. That's it. That's your top 3. Right there, that shows you who you should be shopping at. The top 3. Don't mess around. Go to the best, because that's what it should be about. It's about your health. It's about what you're putting in your body, especially if you're making tea with your cannabis. Now, this is a big deal. If you're making tea with your cannabis, and I don't talk about this enough, and I really should, I make tea. The reason I make tea is so for example, if I'm smoking a joint, I'm burning off all the beneficial cannabinoids, and I'm just really getting high. I'm just really getting, hey, how you doing? And it's getting me high throughout that spectrum. but it wears off pretty quickly. So the high will start to dissipate, and all the beneficial things that I need the cannabinoids to do, I need them attached onto my neurotransmitters. I need those cannabinoids to start working in the body and kind of doing a live decarboxylation as it's going through my body. So in that, I make tea. So what I do, I get the raw cannabis, I get the bud. I'm looking around for bud right now. I take the bud, I break it up. I break up enough for 2 joints. So the equivalency of 2 joints is what I break up. Something fresh, something beautiful, something sticky icky. And you need good bud. You need bud that is hand trimmed. You need bud that is organic. You need bud that comes from living soil, because that bud's going to have a full spectrum of cannabinoids. It's going to be so super powerful as a full plant medicine, whole plant medicine. That's where tea is exciting. So I break up enough for 2 joints. I get some fresh ginger, I shave it up. I get a loose leaf tea blend, a pinch, boom, boom, boom. Enough for like 2 cups. I get some natural honey, only because natural honey from the area is great, especially if you have any allergies or anything like that. Plus, on its own, without the honey, it's going to taste kind of earthy. It's going to taste kind of very, au natural. So you want to make it a little more tasty. The honey is a great way to do it. Also, orange zest, great. Let me see. So loose leaf tea blend, ginger, raw cannabis, honey. I'm sure I'm missing out on something. And I shake it up a little bit. I change it here, I change it there. Maybe I add some berries to it, some medicinal blackberries here on my land. I live on 7 acres out here in Central Florida. I have bushels of wild medicinal blackberries and wild blackberries. So me and Ange go pick them, and we freeze them, we save them. And so these are going to be added into the teas, and just delicious. And actually, we add them into the tea frozen so that it cools the tea down just a little bit. And as it's doing that, it's extracting those juices live, like as it's defrosting, like a flash defrosting in the tea. These wild berries, blackberries, just boom, explode with their gorgeous juices, and that's hitting the tea live. So it's not burning up everything gorgeous inside that blackberry. So that's being added in for flavor, for color, for gorgeous. There's different things you could do. You could shake it up. That ginger is opening up your blood vessels so that everything can be assimilated and just really got into the right places. So as a tea, so glad I was able to save that. So as a tea, here's what you do. You put all those beautiful ingredients into a cup or into one of those little net pots, and then the honey, of course, you're going to put in afterwards. Don't put it in yet. You're going to make shit so sticky. Wait. Same with the berries. Wait. So kettle starts to scream. As soon as your kettle starts to scream, take it off, put it to the side for like 2-3 minutes. Give it a moment. Let it calm down. It's yelling, it's screaming. Give it a moment. It doesn't need to be the center of attention. So as soon as it calms down a little bit, bring it over and pour your water in and steep your goodies that are sitting inside like a net pot. I wish I had a little net pot to show you right now, but sitting inside the net pot, and put inside the tea, put inside, pour it. Remember, you let it sit for about 3 minutes so the temperature can go down below or at 250 degrees. That's why I let you sit it. You want the temperature to go down. Cannabis starts to decarboxylate, starts to change into CBGA, THC, CBD. It starts at 250 degrees. So if it's going to start at 250 degrees, do things at a very, very low temperature. Super exciting. So anyways, that's how you're going to get started with the tea. And that's why tea is so important, because what you're doing now is you're doing a partial decarboxylation of the cannabis. That means you're not hitting it with high flame. You're not hitting it with high heat. You're hitting it at the beginnings of how it starts to change. So now it's changing from its raw form into CBGA. CBGA, her acidic form. CBG, the mother of all cannabinoids, the beginning of the decarboxylation process. So that's T. So what you're doing is giving it a partial decarboxylation around 250 degrees, creating the mother of all cannabinoids, CBGA, in her acidic form still, because you have not broken her down, you're not burning her, and and she's just creating. And in that form, she is directly attaching onto your neurotransmitters, your dealing with sight and brain and whatever that thing is right here in the back that controls everything in the body, medulla oblongata. My medulla oblongata, that's what's going on back there. But right there, you are dealing with the raw chemicals that your body requires, the raw nutrients that your body requires. And you are getting the omegas, the omega 3s and 6s. You're getting magnesium and manganese. You're getting such beautifulness that your body requires at an organic level or a root level. Your stomach needs that so it can start repairing. If you have IBS or Crohn's, or if you're dealing with antacid or acid reflux, you need to be able to fix the journey. You need to be able to fix the journey. And that's where it starts in tea. Tea is where it starts. That's why I get excited about tea. I get excited to hear when people start drinking the tea, and then they'll call or they'll text and they'll be like, Oren, or they'll message and DM and say, Oren, the tea was genius. It was delicious. And I had a body high, and that's what will happen. So by the time, sit down the whole time, sit, relax, take a moment, read the paper, catch up on your stories, look at your tiki-taker or your scrolliolis, look at it and drink your tea. And then when you're done drinking your tea, get up, take in the day with deep breaths, and you'll notice that your feet are lighter. Your legs are lighter. Your body is a little bit lighter. Your head is clear and straight and strong and ready. But your body is a little bit lighter. And we need that. Our feet are too heavy. There's too much weight sitting on our shoulders. Too many backpacks of shit we've got to carry. It makes our lives and it makes our world heavy. Sometimes a little cannabis tea can lighten the load. Sometimes a little bit cannabis tea can, and it does that for me. I drink cannabis tea and I feel light on my feet. I feel a little happier, a little more able to breathe. Because by the end of the day, I feel the world's heavy on me and I can't breathe. I feel by the time I get home, I'm like, is it hard to breathe? Is it heavy? What's going on? Why do I feel this way? Because life is hard and life is heavy. We need to lighten the load. And sometimes making cannabis tea can definitely lighten the load. That is my thing for today. Lightening the load with cannabis tea from Oregonji. By the way, I just picked up the remnants of the Monster Hooter from the other day. So I'm going to relight it. Why not? Because mine was just as small as this one. So I'm going to relight the Uber Duber Monster Hooper. Sorry. Anyways, good morning, everybody. I wish everybody can start a morning like this. I really do. And that's why I'm doing this with you. That's why I'm coming to you digitally, so that we can have a digital smoke sesh, so that we can have a moment to get together in the morning like this and smoke a joint. Ooh, what was I smoking in here? This is delicious. Mule fuel. It's got to be delicious. Delicious. Anyways, because that was Red Bulls I was smoking, and that was also great. But I can tell immediately as the flavor changes. Anyways, That's what this is. This is an opportunity just to get together and listen to me talk for an hour. Listen to me go on about some shit and then forget what I'm talking about, and then go back and talk about something else. And then probably go back and repeat myself and give the whole story all over again, forgetting that I gave the story. Shit happens. That's life. I'm really not that concerned. I'm happy you're here and you're able to enjoy it. I'm happy you're here and you're able to be community with me. That is the most important. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it, James. Thank you. That's the thing. I appreciate you. I'm so happy that we have this opportunity for all of us to get together, and that to me is the most important thing. And I think today, you're right, it has been great. I'm glad that we were able to talk about these pre-rolls. I'm glad we were able to talk about creation and manifestation and changing your day, changing your mood, changing the flow of everything around you. That's how you control it, by the way. You have to change the flow. I can't tell you how many times I walk into places and I feel the flow is negative. It's wrong, it's low, it's down. And maybe people think I'm a little crazy sometimes, where I'm like, it just doesn't feel right here. Mm. One moment. Give me a second. Ooh. I was talking about tea. Now, again, when you're drinking the tea, I do need to warn you, when you first get up, and you have a magical day as well, sir. I love that. That's great. That right there, James, that is everything, by the way. I didn't even read the last part of that yet. My eyes are terrible, especially first thing in the morning. Eyes are bad. Eyes are bad all day long. But have a magical day. Thank you. Thank you for the magical day. Thank you for saying that. That's everything. People, I want you to know that's what it's about. It's your magical day. You are manifesting, you are creating. Yes, the mood may not be right, so change it. Change it. Negativity brings negativity. Stress brings stress. Anxiety brings more anxiety. Let it go. Yes, life is hard. Yes, things are not right for you. Yes, bills are due and there's not enough money and not enough work and not enough food. I know. I know. But stressing it only brings stress around it. You need to positively and enthusiastically manifest a difference, create a difference anywhere you can, anytime you can, any chance that you have. Love the people next to you, love the people around you. Show that empathy, show that kindness, show that love to everyone. Everybody deserves it. Everybody. That's the world around us. That's how we change it. We change it with that love. We change it with that feeling. So I said, I walk into a place and the vibes in so many different places are so bad. And then it changes the way I feel. Like if I'm going to buy something, it changes the way I feel about buying something in a certain place, like cannabis. I quickly want the warning with the tea before I move on with my rambling amblings. With the tea, once you drink the tea, get up gingerly, not gingerly, carefully, mindfully, easily. To be fair, to be fair, to be fair. Okay. Get up, be careful about it. Maybe because you're going to be lighter than you realize. You're going to be light on your feet, light on your body, but not your brain. You're not high. You are lifted. You are being medicated. You are being brought to homeostasis. That's what our bodies require. And once we can do that, then our endocannabinoid system can start working in that magical way that it does to bring everything to perfectness, I guess. Whatever it is, to bring everything to rightness, to whatever the hell it's supposed to be. Who cares? And I care at the same time. I do and I don't. So with the tea, be careful. So I walk into rooms and Like dispensaries. I'll walk into dispensaries, and dispensaries are rough because the people are standing on their feet all day long. You know, they're waiting for customers to come in. They're answering phones. They're putting orders together. And for 7 hours a day, they're working. Just boom, 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 boom. They're working hard. And they are the front line and the front face of almost 99% of the cannabis industry, of the cannabis companies they represent. This, in most cases, unless you're calling them, but this, in most cases, would be the first face you see. When you walk into a dispensary, that is the first face you see. So, mood is everything. Mood is everything. And there are all right, for example, during the pre-roll competition, when going out to purchase the pre-rolls from these companies, if I had taken the companies into account, then some of them wouldn't even be in the competition right now. If I had taken the attitude of the companies into account into the competition, I would have knocked them right out already. Now, some companies were not in because they did not offer a 1 gram pre-roll. Two of the companies only offered half grams, and one of the companies offered a 0.7 gram, but sold it as a full gram. And that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. So because that's some bullshit, I had to say it 3 times because I really loved it. I just loved the way it felt as it came out of my mouth. But that's what it was. And so I didn't include them in the competition. So now what was left, attitude aside, from the dispensaries were 10 companies. But going into these dispensaries, the attitudes that I encountered were so different from dispensary to dispensary. Now, for example, I'm just going to throw them out there. INSA, great people, very polite, willing to have knowledge and understanding of what they're doing, but their flower is shit. I'm so sorry, guys. Your pre-roll was shit. I'll say it one more time. Your pre-roll was shit. I was a little disappointed. I think you guys got like 6th place. I mean, that's not terrible. 6th or 7th. I think it was 6th. And I'm not calling you guys out that way because your people were great. And your chocolates are delicious. By the way, I'm just going to let people know their chocolates, it's like they've got a gorgeous chocolatier whipping up batches of incredible chocolate. I can't eat it too much because it kicks my ass. I had 2 pieces the other night because I have all these chocolate bars. By the way, put your chocolate bars in the freezer. That way they don't go bad. That way you don't lose any THC. That way they, if you have them out for a period of time, they can go bad. But if you put them in the freezer, your cannabis won't go bad. Oh, what's happening to the camera? It's changed on us. Oh, wow. That is fun. Okay, so let's do this. Here we go. We will, change it up a little bit. So hello, everyone. Still coming to you from my makeshift studio. And you will see that the makeshift studio is barely holding together sometimes. But that's what it is. It barely holds together. Like my little gimbal thing just gave up just now. And it does that a lot. My gimbal does give up quite often. I'm actually holding the phone looking for something else that can be used as a stand. Look at this. Look at how creative we while still keeping the studio intact. Oh, the genius. So and you can never get mad about things. Just let them go and move on. Let things go and find a way to complete. Find a way to make things better. So instead, this is a room. This is like a giant closet that I'm in. This is a giant closet that I'm renovating and turning back into a room or into a closet. No, actually, eventually, this will be kitchen. What am I talking about? So this is going to be renovated and this will be kitchen because it has a great view of outside. Huge window. Walls are going to be knocked down. The wall that's behind me will be bye-bye. So I'm temporarily in here. But in that, you make the best of every situation that you're in, and you create the best of every situation. That's creation. That's manifestation. That's finding the enthusiasm and the positive side of life, because it can be negative, but find the positive. Finding the positive is so much better. So I hope you make some tea. I hope you enjoy some tea. I hope you approach the day with more energy, because when I approach a room, like I go into these dispensaries and they're negative, I won't buy, unless of course there's a pre-roll competition. But if they're negative and their energy towards me is their energy towards me is not welcoming or community, then why would I want to purchase through that company? If that's the front face that they're showing me, if that's the person that they're putting up saying, hey, our product and our brand is absolutely fantastic, this is our face. These are the people that I'm putting out there to you, saying they know the most about my product, they care the most about my product, and they're going to sell you the best thing. But that's not the case. Shit, listen to this. I'm going to call Fluent out. You ready? Fluent was, one sec, there we go. So Fluent, I went in there and I said, look, give me your best pre-roll. Give me your best sativa leaning or sativa pre-roll, 1 gram. He's like, oh, you're not going to like what we have. Really? Is that the way you approach a customer? I didn't say I was doing a pre-roll competition. I did not give them any prerequisites whatsoever. But instead, I said, look, give me your best. I want your best house brand sativa pre-roll. Give me the freshest. So every company I went to, I said, give me the freshest of what you have. Give me the most recent of what you have. I want this to be the fairest of competitions. So that's what I asked for. And the person at Fluent was like, well, you're not going to like this very much. It's pretty disgusting. I'm like, oh my God. I go, seriously? And I said that to the guy. I'm like, seriously? Is that how we're going to approach it? He's like, I'm sorry, that's what we got. It's been here a while, and I'm sorry. So I bought what they had. I bought 2 of them, 2 of the same strain from every one of the companies I went to. So that was a negative. And then I had gone into a, I don't want to call out everybody like this. There were a few companies I walked into, they were very negative towards me. And I felt very put off by their company image. One of the companies that I had to give multiple chances to. So I went in to buy pre-rolls from the Flowery. And I started out in Boca Raton, or not Boca, coming up from Miami. I stopped at a Flowery. I want to say it was around Pompano Beach, or I can't remember. It's down south. And I stopped down south at the Flowery to pick up my 2 joints. And so since I travel all over Florida, I wanted to pick up these 2 joints from everywhere. I wanted each one of these companies to be representative, not just by one region, but by multiple regions. So I took so much into account into the pre-roll competition. I mean, so much. Wow. I mean, there's really a lot of factors. I ate it. I tasted it. Aroma and texture and smell and quality and burn and length and high and wow. So much. And that's going to be released in the video. That's like 4 minutes long. In 4 minutes, I did all of this. No, there's individual videos that we're going to be releasing along the way that are explainers of the larger video. So I went into the Flowery down south, and I didn't buy anything. I went in, and it was a negative experience everywhere. I felt like first I was being rushed, and then I was being pushed to the side. I was being cattled along. And then by the time I was about to purchase, I'm putting everything aside. I was about to purchase, and it was raining and flooding outside. So my truck was parked, like other cars were parked. I parked right in front of them. The manager or assistant manager or whoever she was, came out and said, you're going to have to move your car and leave. I'm like, I'm sorry. What? And they're like, you're going to have to move your car and leave. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm just here trying to purchase something. She goes, I don't care. I don't care. So you go ahead and move your car and just leave. I'm like, but is it? And she goes, no, no, I don't. You don't even have to repark it. Just go. I'm like, wow, wow, this is how you treat people. And out there, you don't have a lot of options for great weed. So you've got to go through bullshit like that. No, I would rather get gold flower and have it delivered free same day. Just throwing that out there. To have to put up with in dispensary bullshit, I would rather have it delivered, brought to my house for free, instead of having to drive in Boca Raton or Miami traffic and then have to deal with bullshit. So that's how I felt. So I didn't buy it, obviously, and I left. But I ended up buying later on down the road in another region. And in another region, the flowery was actually, I want to say it was in Ocala. So the flowery in Ocala was very kind to me. It wasn't always like this. I had gone into the flowery previously in Ocala, and I didn't buy anything. It just wasn't the right vibe, and I wasn't feeling the right frequency from the people or the place inside, and I just couldn't buy anything. But I've always given them multiple chances because it could be the individual, it could be the day, it could be the retrograde and how the universe is around us. So I went into the Ocala location and they took care of me. They were nice. They were educated. They were friendly. And they beckoned me, they wanted me to come back. And they tried to make me feel like community. And it seems like things had changed over there. Like they've gone through a reconstruction. Like they've lessened the oh my God, in your face. They've lessened all the neon and all the party idea of cannabis. And they brought it back down to a bit more of a, hey, let me show it to you in a three-dimensional view. Very beautiful, very demure. So I like their change. I like what they did there. So that was flowery. I liked it, but that was Ocala. Not all locations do I feel the same energy. Do I feel the same frequency? But they were third place. They were third, and fourth place was Cookies. Okay, people, they were nice. No problem, no issue. No education. Like they didn't give me any cannabis education while I was there. And I didn't really feel overly community, but I felt friendly. I felt they were friendly towards me, genuinely friendly as people wanting to make a good sale, wanting to make a customer happy. So in that, I say that was great. In that, I say that was great. And, but, the winners of the competition was Goldflower. They had the best pre-roll. They had the best quality, the best tasting cannabis. Really, it tasted the best. That to me was the greatest thing, how the flavor was. So, and their customer service on top of it. You walk into their dispensary, their people are wearing suits. They're wearing suits. They're bringing class and value back to my cannabis. That's a big deal. I love the suit. I love the suit. I think as I walk in already, I'm like, ooh, it's like the Gucci of weed. I like that. And then when you talk to their bud tenders, they're highly educated. You talk to their bud tenders and they're on fire. Their recommendations are super excellent because they smoke the weed. They love the weed and they love the company. That makes a big deal. That makes a big change. That does everything for a company. When your employees smoke it, your employees love it, they sell it from the heart. They sell it authentically. That's the truth of the community of cannabis. We sell what we love, and we love Goldflower. It's great stuff. We love, we love Jungle Boys as well, and it's great stuff. But they were number two. Number one was Goldflower. Number two was Jungle Boys, and number three, Flowery. And everybody else really, and number four, Cookies. And really, everybody else, they need a better showing. Everybody else needs a better showing. And so when I release the video later on today, hopefully everything gets released, no problem today. If it comes out today, you're going to see. You be the judge. You be the judge. Look at the cannabis up close. I've got it under a magnifying glass in the video. You can see the quality. You can see the difference from pre-roll to pre-roll. I do want to mention the amount of cannabis in each pre-roll amongst the whole 10 companies was pretty much identical. The amount of cannabis, again, across the whole 10 was like identical. So nobody was getting shorted. Everybody was getting their 1 gram. A little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit more, a little bit less. But quality was such a big deal. And the difference in quality, wow. The only 2 that had the best quality, of course, are the number 1 and number 2 in the competition. Number 1, Goldflower. Number 2, Jungle Boys. And you'll see it in the quality. You'll see it in the quality. I was shocked about some of the others because I've smoked Sanctuary. I like Sanctuary when I pick up cheap bud, super cheap bud, like insane. But you know something? You pay for what you get. You pay for, if I'm paying $10 an eighth, how shitty is that eighth going to be? I mean, how old is that bud? What quality is that bud? How small are the smalls? And some of the smalls that I've seen have been mighty small, like mighty, mighty small. So small that you're like, that's small. That's small. That's like giant sand small. That's pretty small. That's ground. Like, no, it's small. Just small weed. Don't talk about too much. You're going to give it a height complex. So smalls, and which is fine, but I appreciate larger buds. If I'm going to make tea, I can't use smalls. Because it's already dried and those cannabinoids are already dissipating and disappearing. I want big, fresh bud. I want bud that's icky sticky. I want bud that I crack open and it talks to me with that, hello, how are you? It's fantastic to see you today. Are you going to smoke me? Are you going to eat me? Are you going to drink me? Sorry. But that's important. That's important to me. So this competition shows me a lot. And it shows me who cares about their flower and whose flower that I can eat. So really it's about quality. It's about quality. With the cheap bud, I would have to smoke probably 3 joints to get as high as I did with the one from Goldflower and Jungle Boys. So I would, with the bottom 5, any one of the bottom 5, I would have to smoke 3 or 4 of those joints to get the same entourage that I got from Goldflower at half a joint and Jungle Boys at the full joint. So, or 3/4 of it. 3/4 of it, I was feeling pretty good. But that's the thing. I get to smoke less when it's quality, and I have to smoke more when it's shit. So if it's shit weed, I have to smoke more. If it's quality, I get to smoke less. That's the big deal. Would you like to know what I'm smoking here? This is rosin. So rosin is a fresh press. They press the cannabis, the flower, with a little bit of heat, and that's what this is. That's it. Nothing's been added to it. It has not been enhanced with anything. It's just been cleaned from its particulate matter. Okay? It's just been cleaned from its particulate matter and been able to put into the vape. Now, resin, they add botanical terpenes, and that comes from a flash frozen cannabis. So if you're dealing with a flash frozen cannabis, you're missing out on some of the developed flavors and terpenes that you're going to get from the cure and from the dry. So that cannabis is then, cured and dried cannabis for rosin is then pressed into beautiful things like this. And that's what I'm smoking. And this is Chimera number 2 and Chimera number 4 cross. So Chimera number 2 is an indica. Chimera number 4 is a sativa. Oh, sorry. I make myself laugh. I sounded like the Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz just now. It's a sativa. So Chimera number 4 and Chimera number 2 cross together to make a beautiful hybrid. So it's an indica and a sativa coming together to make a little church where all the little people are inside. Okay, I'm high. Obviously, now I'm high. So this is the best way to start the day. So now I'm going to go and take a walk. I'm going to take a walk on the land, enjoy the sunshine early in the morning. I'm going to enjoy the birds singing, the ground beneath my feet, the energy of the earth, the energy of the sun, the energy of a new day. And that right there is what I wish upon you. So that's how I'm going to end today's stream, because I'm going to ramble on for hours on end. But I wish you an amazing day. I wish you power and motivation. I wish you manifestation and creation. It's your day. It's your magical day. So get out there and create your magical, manifested day. I wish you an excellent one. We'll talk again soon. Remember, Friday, 8 o'clock.